Hey everybody, this is Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and today I've got a brand new CGC unboxing. Now this order is from the end of December. These are books that I mostly picked up from the Baltimore Comic Con back at the end of October. I worked on every one of these books, I cleaned, I pressed them, and if you get a chance, go back, watch my video. It's episode 29. I'll put a link down below in the comments section. I'll leave a spot where you can go back and watch that video, and you hear me talk about these books and you hear about the process I went through to get these books up to snuff, what I did at the Baltimore Comic Con, what books I was looking after. I was really looking at it after a very certain books that I felt like had a lot of value if you could get them bumped up to those higher grades, those 9.4s at the very least, 9.6s, and hopefully some 9.8s. This order right here, I did it as a modern order. It is not a pre-screen, and in my previous video I talked about whether that was going to be a mistake or not, and that this was a test order. Much like one of the ones I did here that I opened up I guess it was my last CGC unboxing, or one of the last ones, where it was some of the similar books, but those were mostly X-Men books. This one is very heavy into Spider-Man, and there's some other books in here too. But we'll see how I did, and if some of my issues that I had in that previous order come up in this one too. I talked about that in my old video. I felt like even at that time, did I do enough? And since then, my worry is that even though I took time with all these, that I didn't let them sit there long enough and see if they reverted back, if some of the paper memory came back and some of those creases kind of snuck back in. That's my big fear on this. We'll see. I also have been doing videos right now where I talk about in my new orders, I'm kind of making sure that this doesn't happen by putting these orders in as pre-screens. But this is not a pre-screen, and as I said, I did this as a test. We'll find out if how I did. Let me set this down. This is actually getting pretty heavy. It's 25 books in there. Now, just to give you a little bit of more information going into this order, I mailed this out in December 31st. It arrived at CGC on January 4th, and it got received into their system on January 11th. So I just got this box today. It was this is May 6th. It was shipped out on May 4th, so that's a pretty good turnaround right there. Really, that's just a little over 4 months, really. I guess you really can't complain about that. So anyway, let's get into this order. Let's find out what we did, and we'll go through each one of the books, and I'll talk about each of them a little bit and what I did to get them up to snuff, so to speak, and we'll find out. Now, I have not looked at the order online to see what the grades are. This is going to be a shock to me as much as it is to everybody else. I'll try to not really look at this as I'm opening it. I kind of want to let you guys see it just as I'm seeing it. Okay, okay, here we go. Okay, first book up right here is Web of Spider-Man 31, and this is part of the Kraven's Last Hunt. Let's see how we did. Oh my god, wow. Right off the bat, the first issue of Kraven's Last Hunt with Mike Zeck, artwork, 9.8. Oh my god, I mean, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. That is awesome. Sorry, I'm so happy to begin with there. So let's hope we don't go downhill from this point, but that right there was just fantastic. All right, so that was issue 31. I actually had 2 copies of that, so let's see what we've got here. Okay, what do we have? Another 9.8. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome. And there is a lot of value in these books at 9.8s. And that's part of my system. I don't have the values necessarily in front of me. Well, I tell you what I do. But I keep a spreadsheet with these, every order I do. I keep track of how much I pay for these books, and I've got a formula set up in Excel where I go through, and if I sell a book, how much it costs, how much I think I can profit from it, what I can sell it for, and then take into effect all the fees that go into it and all the shipping fees and things like that. And basically in this order, these books are from that age. I didn't, like, as I said, I didn't do a pre-screen, but what I did do was I valued these books right here, thinking, okay, what would be the lowest value before it kind of drops off, and most of these is the 9.4. And I'm looking on here, and that's what I've got in my notes, based on my potential sale price versus based on a 9.4. So I'm telling you, on a book like this, on a 9.4, you were talking maybe $86. It's not a lot, but 9.8, I don't have that price in front of me, but you know it's a lot more. So that's just an awesome start. All right, here we have Amazing Spider-Man number 293. This is, of course, still part of that storyline. And let's see what we did. Probably one of my favorite covers here. Oh my god! Oh my god! This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Oh my god. This right here is, I guess it was the two Spider-Man issues in Kraven's Last Hunt were my favorites. The ones with really big shots of Kraven here. Just absolutely stunning artwork from Mike Zeck. Just unbelievable. The coloring's fantastic on these too. Oh my god, 9.8 on that. I tell you what, these are books that I want to have for my collection. I don't, as much as I'm going to tell you how much something like that was worth. I mean, a 9.4 on a book like this, 290. This is 293. Excuse me. At a 9.4 is $115. So obviously it's going to be a lot more, but that's fantastic. It's going to be hard to give up though, because I really like those series. Those are books that I want to have in my collection, and I've got some help here. Are you going to help? I got lucky. I don't know if you can see. You can see his tail there. All right, hop down, honey. Hop down. Come on. Hop down. All right. So that was 293. Now I'm looking here. I've got 294. Let's see how we did on this one. This is my other favorite cover, and it's not sure which one is my favorite, but both of these are just fantastic. All right, here we go. 9.6. Okay, so I hate to rain on my own parade, but 9.6 is really good in this as well. So that's still fantastic. Definitely gives me something to shoot for in the future, so I'll definitely keep looking for that book. And it'll be interesting to go back on the graders notes on all of these and see what happened on some of them. Hopefully there'll be some notes, but we'll find out. All right, what do we have here? Oh, we have a second copy of 294. All right, let's see how we did. 9.6. All right, so we got 2 9.6s on that one right there. All right, what is up next? Oh, now here's an interesting book. Now, as I said, most of these books came from the Baltimore Comic-Con. This book right here was in the PC for years, since '93, since it came out. It is the Marvel Milestone edition of Amazing Spider-Man #1. And if you are a subscriber to the channel, you know I love me some facsimile reprints. So let's see how we did on this one. These I've not had a lot of luck on the ones I've done before. I've done Iron Man 55 Marvel Milestone, and I'm thinking Punisher, or the Spider-Man 129, and I think I got 9.4s and 9.6s. This metallic silver border can be kind of unforgiving. If you put any kind of mark on there at all, you can't really get it out. At least I haven't been able to. So let's see how we did. There we go. There we go. 9.8. Woo! That is fantastic. Wow. Wow, that is gorgeous. All right. What's up next? Oh, I remember this one now. Amazing Spider-Man 239. This is the second appearance of the Hobgoblin. I picked this up. Yeah, I'm going to say the Baltimore Comic Con. I remember the exact booth that I picked this up from. It was, I don't remember the vendor's name, but I do remember the booth, and I went back to them multiple times because they had a lot of good books at really good prices. I mean, they were there to sell comics, not to fleece customers. And I remember, I think this was one of the last books I ended up picking up on one of the last days of the con. And let's see how we did. All right, 9.6 on that. That's not shabby. That is not shabby. Let's take a quick look at the prices. What it would have been if it was a 9.4. This is $239. $239 at a 9.4 is $129. So we interact. I'm actually doing this video right now. I don't know if I'm going to go back later and add prices on the video so you can see what they would have been in a 9.6, but I might do that at some point. All right, here we have Spider-Man 250. This is a big battle between Spider-Man and Hobgoblin, early Hobgoblin appearance. And let's see how we did on that. Okay, here we go. 9.6. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. 250 at an... Actually, I did do a value. I take it back. I thought I did all 9.4s on these. This one I based the price on as a 9.6. At the time, it was roughly a fair market value of about $205. All right. I sort of peeked a little bit down there at the grades. I got to be careful not to look at the tops of these. All right, what do we have here? This is X-Men 241. This is not a super big spec book. It's a early appearance of Madeline Pryor as the Goblin Queen, and really to have good value on this, you definitely have to get a 9.8, maybe a 9.6. So let's see how we did. 9.4. Boo. Boo. All right, 9.4 on X-Men 241. Yeah, this one pretty much is going to be... This is definitely one of those books I probably shouldn't have sent in without a pre-screen. This is one that needed to be a 9.6 at least to be about an $80 value. At a 9.4, it's definitely... I may be able to get enough. If I can sell this, I can maybe get the grading fees out of it. All right, what's up next? All right, here we have X-Men number 5. This is the Jim Lee first cover appearance of Omega Red. A lot of spec on this book, just like at number 4. It kind of went down after the Falcon and Winter Soldier show came and went, and they didn't have Omega Red on there. So we'll see what we did. 9.8. 9.8. That is awesome. Wow. That's just a beautiful cover. So much detail. Alright, so 9.8 on X-Men 5. Well, I'll tell you what. So, I don't know why I even put a grade at 9.4 in this, but at 9.4, that would have been about a $50 book. So, we'll see how we do when I look all that up. Alright, what do we have here? Okay, so this gets into some of my favorite books growing up, and some of the books that you've already seen in some of the other videos, and I'm going to tell you what, in future CGC unboxings, you're going to see this book over and over again. Not quite as much as that Fantastic Four 244 that I love so much, but I've got a bunch of these copies of this book in here, and what I'm talking about is Avengers 187. It's part 3 of that 3-issue storyline of the origin of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, the first Darkhold, and this is not... 186 is the big book. This one still has a lot of value. So, and I didn't pay a lot for these. So there's not a real big investment into these books. I think I was picking these up at the con at Baltimore Comic Con for maybe $5 or $6. Actually, I can tell you right here, 187. What did I pay? Well, I take it back. I said 5 or 6. I should really look before I speak. One of these copies was, I think I ended up paying about $25 for it, which probably was too much. And the other one was 15. I can't tell you which one is which, but let's just see what the grade is. 9.2. Okay, not too surprised on that. The age on that book is in that era where those late 70s books that I think I could have bumped up more. Not sure. I hope they have some graders notes on this one. At a 9.4, you were talking 180, so that you can see there's still going to be some value in a book like this, even at a 9.2. All right, let's see if the second copy is in here. Second copy is right here. I kept them in order. And you can see both of actually the other one was a newsstand. This is a direct edition. So let's see how we did on this one. Ready? 9.8. Oh my God. Woo! Oh my God. Oh my God. And what is... Man, you learn something and you wonder how CGC does some things someday, but I tell you what, I mean, you can look right up here, and you're not going to be able to see it, especially with me shining it in the light, but there is a big old color-breaking spine tick right up there. But it's still, everything else must have been just absolutely flawless for this to get that. And man, I'm feeling so good about this order. I hope it doesn't go downhill from this point, but I'm telling you that my cleaning and pressing on this one so far has been really good. Go back, watch my other video. I'll talk about it. I put these books probably through the press 3 times. I introduced moisture to the front and back covers. I direct moisture and used that tack iron like crazy to get on these. I did so much dry cleaning. I put a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, and toil went into all of these books, and so far I haven't been disappointed. Let's hope we keep this train going. All right, here we have Spider-Man 258. This cover has become very popular, and this is a great spec book because it is part of that origin of Venom. This is the issue where we realize that the costume is alive. It's a living being, and of course this is where he gets separated from Spider-Man and everything. Reed Richards helps him out there. Just absolutely beautiful Ron Friend's artwork. So let us see how we did. You will see this book over and over as well. I did a lot of 258 and 259. There'll be other ones as well, but I know I really was going after this book. This was a book that I really like to try to pick up. So we'll see how we did. There we go. There we go. Wow. 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 Thank you, CGC. Wow, that is awesome. So at 258, and I'm going to have 2 more of these in this order. And again, I can't tell you which one I have here because I've got 3 of them. But at the con, I paid anywhere from $30, $25, and $15. Let's just say this is a $30 one because there's going to be a lot of value in this at a 9.8. That is fantastic. At a 9.4, this book is valued, fair market value, at least when I checked on these and I sent this order out. So we're talking beginning of January, end of December, we're talking at a $170 value at a 9.4. So it's going to be fun. Again, fun looking that up. That is awesome. All right, here is a second copy of that. Okay. Let's see how we did. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Oh my god, I can't believe that. I can't believe this. I'm telling you that this order so far has been night and day compared to that X-Men order. The one, go back, watch my video, the one where I talk about getting hammered. We're talking about same era books, exactly the same. And I didn't think my process differed too much from those books to these books. And that book, that one I got hammered on. Now, we still could go downhill from there, so I don't know. But, man, that is fantastic. All right, we have a 258. This is the last one here. Sorry for the... Let's see if I can... There we go. Try to get... So it doesn't... So you can see the book better. All right, third one. All right, got a 9.6. Wow. Still absolutely gorgeous. We'll say that one was the least expensive of the ones I spent, so that'll make my numbers look good. Then we'll say we spent $15 on that one. All right, what is up next? All right, we're keeping this theme going right here. Like I said, this is a big Spider-Man order. This is $259, and this one right here, classic cover. Ron Friends, it is the origin of Mary Jane. Not the hugest spec book, but there is actually some surprising value in this book. You got to get those 9.8s, 9.6s. All right, I'm sort of holding my breath. Let's see how we did. 9.6. Okay. 9.6 on 259. Well, a 9.4 is roughly a $90. I would have imagined that a 9.6 is probably about a 125, maybe 130. I'm just guessing, but that's my take on it. Absolutely, still gorgeous though. And we're going to have multiples of this in here as well. How many do I have? Yeah, I've got 3 of these as well. So let us see. That was a direct edition. I don't know. I never really keep track of whether they were. Oops. Well, I revealed the grade there. There, oh, there you go. It's a 9.8. Oh my god. That was an awful reveal, by the way. But 9.8. Oh my god. Woo, boy. Oh my god. Man, that is fantastic. All right. Now I got something different here. So probably the third 259 is somewhere else in the box. But let's see what we have. All right, we have Web of Spider-Man 32, and we're back to the Craven's Last Hunt. And I think this is actually a real popular cover as well. Spider-Man digging himself out of the grave and everything. So let us see what we did on this one. Oh, 9.6. Okay. Absolutely still gorgeous. 9.6 on Web of Spider-Man 32. And it's the only one I've got in this book here. So a 9.4 is fair market value of about $200. So 9.6 got to be a little bit more than that. So there's definitely one I'm going to have to get another copy on and work on. I think I'm going to... I'm trying to downsize the collection, but I'm trying to keep things that I really treasured. And they may not be super big grail pieces necessarily, but I love that Craven's Last Hunt run. I mean, I just absolutely love that. So it may be one of those I may keep for the PC just because I really liked it. Okay, I probably just revealed that grade, by the way, there. But I didn't see it yet. All right, this is issue 244, and I'm going to have multiple copies of this as well. Early Hobgoblin story, 9.6. Okay, that's actually really good. We're going to have a bunch of these. And I want to say one of these in here might have a Mark Jewelers insert as well. And I'm going to be curious if they marked it on there. So let's see. 244 at a 9.4 is a roughly $120 value. All right, let's continue. And we have another 244. All right, let's see how we did. 9.4. All right, we're going downhill here. So we know what the value is. You know that the value is roughly $120 on that. That's still really good. And a lot of these books like this, I was picking them up in really to add value to these books. Books that I could improve and send in the CGC and add a ton of value to and resell. And I'm telling you right now, I did this mostly to resell and to really fund this hobby. All right, we have issue 245. That's I love this cover. It's one of my favorite John Romita Jr. covers of Spider-Man. I didn't like the head. Well, I just revealed that, by the way. 9.6. I don't like the head there of Hobgoblin. Of course, that isn't really the Hobgoblin if you've read the story, but that's a little weird. But the Spider-Man himself, boy, that's just absolutely gorgeous. So a 9.6, got a 9.6 on 245. That's interesting. It's interesting that right now I've got a value written down that's a 9.2. It's kind of, oh, excuse me for one sec while I get the camera, the screen here, so I can actually watch this a little bit better. Kind of went to sleep. I'm going long. Sorry, the video is getting long here, but 245 at a 9.2 is roughly about a $75. So we're probably talking as a 9.6, probably at least a 125, maybe 150. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous. All right, and we're going to have multiples of these, and you're going to see these again in other orders. All right, we have another 245, and this one is a newsstand. So let's see how we did. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh my God. That is awesome. I tell you, I'm going to really look over the ones that didn't get 9.8s on this. This is a really good opportunity for me to look at these books and compare them side by side and see what I'm missing. What did I miss? Do I need to take even more time on some of these books? Do I need to get a magnifying glass and really dig deep into these books and find out what's knocking some of these down a little bit? I mean, it's all, maybe you should. Maybe we got to take this as a learning opportunity. All right. Oh, here's that third copy of 259. And it looks like another newsstand copy. Let's see how we did. 9.0. Boo. Really? Wow. Really? Well, I mean, I can see a little bit of a tick right there. I mean, a crease, not a, yeah, a little something. Okay. Boo. Boo. I don't want to talk about that one. Let's just move on. All right. Looks like we've got 2 books left. Let's see if we can finish strong. This is issue number 251, and I want to say that's what's left here. Got 2 copies of this. Early Hobgoblin. I love this. Is one of my favorite books from that time period because you got Klaus Janson doing the inking. It gives it a completely different feel. I love this. All right, let's see how we did. 9.4. Oh, okay. So 9.4 and 251. I mean, it's still, I had this down as a $170 value. Now, those prices, if you look it up today and you're going, Rusty, you're crazy, that fair market value, nobody would pay that for that. Fair market's maybe a lot less. I'm sure a lot of people will look at the prices, hear my prices, and they'll go, you're completely wrong. And yeah, you might, I could be. But at the time, the way I'm not even sure how I was formulating that. I know that I usually go off of eBay, buy it now prices, and sold prices. I go collect, I go by cover price, add those all up. Depending on the age of a book, if it's a much older book, I will go to Heritage and look up some books sometimes. But at that point, I've got a pretty good idea what the value should be, or at least what I could sell it for. So anyway, let's finish. Oh, I'm getting ready to reveal the same book. So 250. Off-white to white pages too. You know, that's one thing I wasn't looking on a lot of these to see if any of the page quality dropped down. But, Alright, last one. Second copy of 251. Let's hope we did better than the 9.4 on this one. This one's a direct edition. 9.6. Okay, so we did a little bit better. That's awesome. So if a 9.4 is meeting that, I'll leave it there. If a 9.4 is meeting that $170 fair market value, then I would say a 9.6 has got to be at least 200, maybe 225, depending on the price, depending on what the market is right now. So that is about it. I'm looking over my list here. Just about every one of these books came from my Baltimore Comic-Con haul. If you watch, I've got 2 videos that I did for Baltimore Comic-Con. I should leave a link for that one too, because you can see me picking up these books. One book was from the PC. That was the Marvel Milestone Edition, the Spider-Man book, #1, and that X-Men #5 came from Cards, Comics, and Collectibles up in Reisterstown. I remember buying that back in Thanksgiving. They have a big Thanksgiving sale, so that's where that one came from. Everything else came from their Baltimore Comic-Con. So that is freaking awesome. I'm trying to look real quick if any of my notes say anything, but I don't. Maybe this is not the order that one of those Spider-Man had the Mark Jewelers insert. I'm not sure, but guys, that is it for today. That is everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed my excitement at this. This order has absolutely blown me away. What fantastic value in an order like this right here. My cleaning and pressing, I started doubting myself after the one order a few videos ago with the X-Men, where I got hammered on some of the grades. And I turn around on a video like this and I'm telling you, every one of these books needed a lot of work. We're talking pressing multiple times. We're talking working those spines to get every one of those creases out. We're talking about dry cleaning, especially the back. And these 251s, this white up in this area here is just awful about picking up dirt. So having to clean all of that, it was a lot of work. But man, has this order paid off. I'm so excited right now. And here it is again. It is already 3:30 in the morning after I got home late from work. I couldn't wait till get some sleep and then come back and do this right now. I'm so excited about this. So guys, that is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you have any comments about the books, if you are interested in any of these books for your own PC, reach out. I always have my email address right here at the top of the screen. Let's see if I can point to it. Right here. Right there. So I always have that up there so you know how to reach me. It's the easiest way. Just send me an email and we can always talk. And I always leave links. I do have most of my books listed in eBay. I also have a link to my Shortbox account. I do sell on Shortbox. I've sold some books on there, and that seems like it's a pretty easy process, definitely, to list your books. And I've been real happy with Shortboxed. So guys, thank you for everything, and I will see you for the next video. Take care now.